Bardo teaching again. Yesterday we talked about the Bardo of dreaming Bardo. In the Bardo of dream, the main methods taught to realize the nature of mind is that Padmasambhava's instructions say that before going to sleep, you should generate bodhicitta with words such as may all beings achieve perfect happiness and complete awakening. With that as your motivation when you go to sleep, you fall asleep with a strong intention like that. When a dream arises, you will become aware that you are dreaming. After establishing your motivation, your intention, then you lay down and sleep in, Tibetan called Sanki Nyartab, which means lying posture, if you can. This is also good for your body, they said. So then you visualize Padmasambhava or whoever sitting above your head. It is important at this time not to become distracted by thoughts about anything, tomorrow's schedule, go back to Minneapolis and go back to work, that kind of thoughts. Because being distracted by thoughts is generally the main obstacle to successfully recognizing your dreams. So the main point here is not to become too distracted by any kind of thoughts. During this practice, focus your thoughts one-pointedly on the Guru above your head or heart center, if you can. Then you also kind of silently say, grant me blessing so that I can recognize dream is a dream, illusion is an illusion, and see the absolute nature of my mind. That's another method, because I know you people were talking about the illusory part of dreaming. So this kind of practice for your dream. If this method doesn't work for you, then you can try another method. Here you create the basic visualization as before, and then simply visualize, remember the red, the bandhu, the sphere of light, and the first syllable, if you want, at your heart center. Because of the bandhu and this, the syllables represent the essence of your mind. So concentrate on that and sleep with this visualization. You might recognize your dream. That these two things, the methods, are very simple, easy to practice before you go to sleep. There are some other methods for recognize that your dreams, which are trance in illusory body, dream yoga, and luminosity yoga, many. So these are profound, and also I think a little bit these methods are a little bit difficult, I think. But the first I just give you the instruction. These two methods are very simple, but easy, and helps you recognize your dream. Karmalambas, this illusory part of dream, the root attacks by saying that practice for this pardo, at the time when you pardo of dream appears to you, abandon the distractedness of the delusory sleep. Enter into the nature of mindfulness and non-wandering. Recognizing dreams, practice transformation and luminosity. So that's the actually how you practice when you go to sleep. So that's kind of part of the illusory part of dreaming. We already talked about that. Don't too much, attract your dream. Just let it go. Dream is a dream. They're just good, whether it's good dream or not good dream. People just, if they have a good dream, then they sort of, attached, oh, that was really good dream, and thinking that all the time. People has a bad dream, then they worries, and make them kind of, nothing worry about, good or bad. It's a dream, right? It's a dream. Make us worry. Absolutely worry, Sometimes a dream really means something, Most time dream just a dream, Nothing means. But sometimes it's something mean, but it's just a dream. That's all. Now the last pardo is practice pardo of meditation, which is sixth pardo. It is called a pardo because it is between when we start our meditation and until we finish it. That between, right? Pardo means between. So it is not like our ordinary state of deluded thoughts, but it is a period of meditative stability, a state of concentration. It is like a motionless ocean in which there are no waves. Actually, the dream pardo and this pardo, the practice pardo of meditation, these are part of the pardo of the nature part of this life. These two are part of the nature part of this life. So if you include these two pardos, nature part of this life, then we have only four pardos, four different pardos. Do you remember? So because these two pardos, dream pardo and meditation pardo, the nature pardo of this life sort of naturally includes, right, our practice. So it is only here that we can meditate. So when we recognize the true nature of our mind, we see. Now we're talking about the sixth pardo, practice pardo, right? Meditation. And we usually try to understand our mind and control our mind and let go everything like that, the meditation for that, right? So we see this sort of, when you look directly your mind, there's nothing exists, right? Good or bad or happy, suffering, Nothing. Just see its empty essence and its quality of wakefulness, a clear awareness that is fully and brilliantly present all the time, no matter where you are, you know. So when we rest directly in the nature of mind during our meditation, the experience is that of a sort of genuine bardo. It is the experience of the gap that the non-conceptual awareness that is beyond samsara and beyond nirvana, or another way, it's beyond confusion and beyond liberation. So the bardo of meditation in Padmasambhava's teaching is connected to the experience of vipassana. Because what we recognize at this point is the nature of mind or awareness. So vipassana refers to the insight that directly realizes this nature of mind. Because of the key point in vipassana meditation is awareness. So now what is awareness? It is simply a state of mind that is not distracted from the present moment. So when we bring the mind to rest in its own state, its own nature, without distraction, then we are in the state of awareness of the present moment. That is in general, you know. So this, the details of this practice, you know, should be received from our individual root teacher. But this is Bardo, nature, the practice Bardo meditation. And when we have a sort of strong heart connection to our root guru, root teacher, then receive these instructions directly from them, it is much more sort of, you know, personal and powerful experience, because the moment of transmission of pointing out the nature of mind becomes sort of a strong meeting point and a genuine meeting of minds. Remember, mother and child luminosity, right? So when we receive the point out instruction from our root teacher, we are being introduced directly to the reality of mind's nature. And then, you know, these instructions become very effective if we have prepared ourselves to receive these instructions. It arises and it's manifest within the space of our awareness in its own nature state. So the bardo of meditation is, in brief, the state of meditative concentration in which the mind is at rest and is not distracted from its object. With this meditation, that object is nature mind. Nothing. The mind, therefore, rests in the state of union, the inseparability of awareness. According to these instructions, in terms of the thoughts that arise during meditation, we should recognize that there are two different kinds, right? Thoughts, coarse and sort of subtle, right? Yes or no? Yes. So the coarse thoughts are like robbers, and subtle thoughts are like a thief. Again, the coarse thoughts are very easily noticed, right? They destroy our awareness right in front of us. Just immediately, I'm not there yet. Now I'm a wander away. My mind's not there. But the subtle thoughts, even though you are very calm, relaxed, and practice shamatha, all this, but subtle thoughts underneath, I mean, it's difficult to see, difficult to, know. They sort of hide beneath the surface of our intention, and we are not aware of their sort of presence. So they are kind of slowly sort of steal our awareness in a more sort of sneaky way, So they can distract us without our even recognizing their presence. And if we notice them for a moment, they just run away and hide again. Right? Sometimes I meditate. Oh, it's pretty good. I'm very happy. Meditate. And then investigate my meditation. Oh my goodness, I didn't concentrate. Oh, I thought that and that. Then I noticed, right? Otherwise, it just kind of feels good when I meditate. Oh, I'm there. I'm present now. Oh, I'm concentrated, this and that. But my subtle thoughts still there, lurking, So we have two different thoughts. And they sort of steal our mindfulness, our concentration, and the focus of our meditation. But from the Dzogchen point of view, there is no need to abandon the emotions, these thoughts. They are regarded as kind of ornaments of our realization. It is not necessary to abandon them. Therefore, it is important for us to look at each arising of thoughts or emotion, coarse or subtle, to accept or recognize that experience and to be clear about its nature. That's why they're called ornaments. You don't have to abandon, right? You kind of transform into, just to recognize angry, attached, jealous, all these things, emotions arise. Directly look at its essence.
Is that coarse and subtle?
Yeah?
It's both coarse and subtle thoughts?
When?
Subtle thoughts.
Both. Dzogchen point of view. But in other teachings, we have to abandon them, right? We have to diminish them. So that's a different thought, different thing. Usually, when we practice other, compassion, bodhicitta, whatever we practice in Vajrasattva, we purify all our negative emotions, thoughts, right? Purify. Try to diminish them. But Dzogchen point of view, you don't have to do that because Dzogchen is higher. You can just recognize its essence, and then they're no longer there. It disappears because it doesn't exist. We create them by our ignorance. That's not nature. We create. It's not nature. It's nature that these negative emotions doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. But we think they exist, and we develop them all the time. We feed them. Then they control us. We don't recognize its essence. We never see their nature. We don't want that ornaments, right? You're confused. No. Why we don't want ornament? Women like ornaments. What do you think?
No, what do you mean like we don't? You mean we want our emotions? We want our drama? Thank you, Heather.
Yeah, we don't want.
We don't.
You don't want. Yeah.
It seems that when I'm thinking something, if I don't recognize it, then I become that.
You become that, and they control you.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So when, for instance, you get angry, something, and then you think more and more that situation, that means you feed your anger, and your anger gets bigger, bigger, bigger. But Dzogchen point of view, you don't feed anger. Just look directly, its essence. You can't find your anger disappear, because as soon as you look directly your anger, and then you see its nature. Nature is always nature. Doesn't matter. It's nature. You can make that nature. It's nature, always be, and you just see it. If you have that method, if you have that capacity, then you can see its nature. And then your anger, ignorance, jealous go away. These negative emotions we create by ignorance. That's why we are in samsara. Tibet, the great teachers, nothing can control them. Even though, destroyed monastery, killed them, just they're always seeing this nature. For them, no panic, no afraid. They just enjoy with the nature. So that's Dzogchen point of view. But another way is if we are not there yet, then we can purify them also. So many ways. Same goal. So we don't need negative emotions because they make us suffering. So tantric teaching or sutras, tantras, all these teachings, same goal, different methods, use different techniques, Some teachings, try to purify them. Some teachings just, see its nature, and then there is no negative thoughts, negative emotion. So that is Bardo, okay? Bardo, practice Bardo meditation. This is include our, right now, the nature part of this life. So we have nature part of this life is like a dream, right? Is like a dream. So then that's why the dream is illusory. So then we have illusory part of dream. And then in order to understand, in order to recognize that illusory as an illusory, dream as a dream, we have to meditate, right? So that's why we have practice Bardo meditation. So this nature part of this life is actually this too. According to Buddha's Bodhisattva, a point of view of them, this is a dream. And then they called also double dream. Nighttime we have a real dream, and daytime we think It's not dream, but it's a dream. So we have to understand, recognize that through practice, the Bardo of meditation. So this is our natural part of life, this life.
I wonder about, so you said in Dzogchen, we don't even grasp onto those emotions, so they're not real, and then we're not there yet, we can purify. So where does applying the antidote fit in? Is it in the middle of that? We can purify and also apply an antidote for anger and bodhicitta?
Bodhicitta is everything. Bodhicitta is the antidote for everything. You know? Yes. So, you know, your compassion is very good antidote. Bodhicitta is very good antidote. Patience, very good antidote. I think these three are actually all the time we need, you know. Because this, my experience, if we have same experience, then my experience when I meditate bodhicitta make me happy and open my mind, huge, you know. And then I have a room for everything. That's why I always think, you know, bodhicitta is how helps directly and immediately. I think we are just sometimes suffering because of our mind is so narrow, I think. Just there is no room for good or bad. Just too narrow. We need really open mind. Big mind, you said big heart, right? Big heart is really good. Bodhicitta makes you really big heart, give you a big garbage can. Oh, you're negative, okay, jealous, anger, attachment. Put there. Put there. Okay? I give you big garbage. You have lots of garbage, so you need garbage can.
Even room for somebody else's garbage?
Yeah, your garbage put in here. Bodhicitta say, you know, Bodhicitta tells you, oh, you need big garbage, my dear. Really, don't you think? Yeah. So practice bodhicitta, please, and let your mind open, you know. Just don't really hurt yourself. Don't make yourself, you know, whether you have where you are, I mean, good circumstance or bad circumstance. Just let everything go and, you know, enjoy, understand your mind. So now we are done the 6 Bardos. Each of these 6 Bardos, remember, there are different instructions and different methods. So you have to actually, if you want to practice the 6 Bardos, you have to memorize this Karma Langba's the root text, you know. That's very good conclusion, you know. But another conclusion I want to tell you, the most important thing is to recognize everything that we experience is an illusion. All good and bad, it comes from our minds. It comes from our narrow minds, you know. So therefore, if something changes in our mind, then the outer world of this appearance are also changed. Which means, you know, there is no substantial things in the world. For example, right now we are human being, right? Human being. We think in our mind tells us, oh, beautiful, outside the green grass, all this. We just enjoy they're there, right? We never think they're our food. They're all grass, or you just don't eat. We don't eat grass if you don't have food, but if you don't have food, we don't eat grass because we think that's not our food. Because our mind tells us that's not your food. Then when we die, for example, and we reborn into a cows or deers, then we see, oh, this is my food. They eat. So something changes in our mind that changes our world. Everything comes from our minds. You know, our consciousness, the continuation, the human beings, the consciousness continuation, and we become reborn in the cows, animals, the consciousness continuation is the same. But how we see, how we think, also because of the body, right? Also the brain. Everything will change. Then our outside everything is changed.
All of that makes so much sense to me. I can hear how true that is. But, inevitably I go to work. And it's like, even though studying this stuff and practicing has really helped me in my workplace, I know ultimately a lot of it doesn't matter. I feel more compassion for people and I'm more focused every day. Nonetheless, there's just so much stuff going on at work. And I guess what I wonder about is, like, how much should I care? I know it's illusory ultimately, but I'm in samsara. This is the game I'm playing at work. And how much do I care, about...
Well, the problems we need to, Buddha said, you should try to fix it, right? If there's so much going on in there, you just it's your part of your life, right? You should try to fix it. Try to fix it. It can't fix. You cannot fix. Then just let it go and just no worry. Just let it go. I just tell yourself, okay, yeah, I did. Try to fix it. Maybe you can, and maybe you cannot. Okay, then I can't try to fix. I can't control this. Then why I care of so much this? Just let it go. That's what I'll do. But always your worries that make worse and worse the situation, worse and worse. Shantadeva was really good teacher. He says, if you can't fix it, then you don't need to worry.
So just learn to recognize where that point is. You put a certain amount of effort into what's going on, and you work at it, but there's some point you just personally have to determine that, okay, that's it. I do as much as I can.
Yep. A work situation, if you practice bodhicitta, so good. Really.
Khenpo, can you share with us one of your favorite meditations to create space in your mind so that you have that big mind, you have the big heart, you have the big compassion?
Yes. Bodhicitta.
And how do you actually practice that?
How you practice bodhicitta? Are you kidding? How many times I teach you guys how to practice bodhicitta?
A lot.
Sometimes I ask questions for YouTube land.
Relative bodhicitta. This make you open mind is practice relative bodhicitta. You practice relative bodhicitta. There are only two things. Aspiration bodhicitta, application bodhicitta. It's very easy. Practice the four measurables. That's the aspiration bodhicitta. Then if you can do more than that, then practice 6 paramitas. Generosity, give something. Give dharma, give property, give food, whatever you can. Generosity, discipline, your how you say, how you talk, how you active, discipline. Patient. Patient, practice patient. Third paramita, be patient. Don't get angry right away, right? Patient. Diligence, practice diligence. Jimba, tsutum, zopa, tsundi, something. Meditative concentration. We're talking here, right? And then the paramita, no, the wisdom. So this is six perfections, 6 paramitas. That's how you practice bodhicitta, application bodhicitta. So that's two stages there. First, we cannot practice 6 paramitas. We're not there yet, right? So that's why you should practice, compassion for immeasurables, love, compassion, equanimity. One is what? Joyful offer. That's we can. We're doing nothing. Actually, when we practice this, we're not practice actively, but we're develop good thoughts in our mind. Oh, then you practice more and more this. Then one day you will say, oh, I want to do something, not only think, Then you can start 6 paramitas, 6 perfections, generosity and discipline, all this. And then when you practice more and more that, one day, I want more. And practice the ultimate bodhicitta. It is a doctrine. So that's all. That's your practice. That contains everything. Bodhicitta contains everything. If you practice bodhicitta. If you're not beginner, you can practice ultimate bodhicitta. So then ultimate bodhicitta, there is a union of the development stage and completion stage you can practice. And then there is the union of emptiness appearance you can practice, ultimate bodhicitta. And then you can practice ultimate bodhicitta, your mind and your teacher's mind, a union of that, amazing practice. So there are so many ultimate bodhicitta you can practice, so many ways. So that's all. So, so now we're talking about, what do we talk about? This illusory, right? Bardo. So it's very important, it's very important to recognize everything that we experience is an illusory, because when we are in the bardo, all of the experience we have are illusory, but if we attached to appearance, we will not recognize when the bardo experience arises. And the most important bardo is the bardo of this life. So that's because we have the opportunity to study and meditate. If we practice this life, then when the following bardos appear, it will be easy for us to understand what is happening and do the correct practice. If we don't practice this life, then, even Bardo, the Karmalangbas, the text tells us that, we have more opportunities to realize and enlightenment in each of the following Bardos. But I think this is almost impossible if we do not have, capacity and establish the foundation of meditation practice that we have developed now in this life, then it's difficult. So for this reason, I emphasize on why it is so important to practice the nature part of this life, Understand? Okay. That's all. No practice. Quickly, okay? Quickly, one practice. This is the last Phowa practice.